Hi, I'm Christoph. I'm a pitch coach from Germany, but I also have my own startup, and that's what I want to present to you today. It's called Berlin, and we're in the startup home as a service business. Before I tell you what we do, I want to give you a little bit of a company history, though, because we were actually founded in 1237. That's our old branding. We were going strong for a while there, but then unfortunately we got a terrible CEO in 1933. Who forced us to do products that really the entire world hated. We got into a big shitstorm because of it and almost went bankrupt in 1945. Thankfully, we got investors in that bailed us out. They got rid of the old CEO and they gave us a new lease on life. But then, as it happens between investors, Frank, Joe, and Winston here, they started fighting over the direction the company was going in. So then they actually forced us to do two products for a while, one for capitalists and one for communists. And as startup people, you know that's terrible because the most important thing is focus. So in 1989, we had a company-wide hackathon where everybody got together and we decided to do a management buyout, get rid of the old investors, and start working on a new vision, okay? And that vision was to target the target audience of startups with our product. And that's also when we started with a new branding and that claim Startup Home as a Service. So what's the problem that we're solving with our product today? Well, most of you are obviously the next Elon Musk, right? You have amazing startup ideas that are gonna totally change the world. You've been living the ramen lifestyle for a while, and you're in the process of building an amazing team. But at some point, for that team, you need a place to put the foosball table, right? So you need a city to be based in with your startup. And the obvious choice, especially for Americans, is staying in the US, right? Because there's a lot of cities to choose from. You're part of the biggest startup ecosystem in the world with all the best companies. The best mentors are available here. The greatest startup investors are around here. So there's really no reason to leave the US. But I want to talk about just hypothetically, okay? Just hypothetically, if there was ever any reason at all to leave the US with your startup, just hypothetically, the question is, where in the world would you go? And I can tell you where you want to go. You want to go to Europe, or more specifically, the EU, because that is the second biggest market in the world. And in the EU, there are a bunch of competing products offering you that service, but we think none of them totally nail it, and we totally nail it. So for example, there's the product Barcelona, and that's a great city, but unfortunately, it's too sunny, because that means you will spend your time on the beach and not working on your startup. Then there's the product Paris. And that's a great city, but it's just too pretty. So again, you're not going to focus. You're going to wander around the city and think, oh, this is amazing. How about Rome? Rome is a great city. I love it, but too yummy. You'll be spending your time eating and not working on your startup. Milan, not good. There's too much pressure to dress up and look amazing every day. I'm a founder myself. I can't even be bothered to shower in the morning before I go over to the co-working space. Stockholm, nice city, but Swedish people, just too damn attractive. So again, you're going to be distracted chasing them rather than focusing on your startup. Zurich is a nice city, but unfortunately there, they have too many good jobs, so people don't have to work for your startup. Even Burger King in Zurich can pay more than what your shitty little startup can afford to pay people. It's true. Munich, great city, but close to the Alps, so you'll be doing day trips. Again, not working. And don't even get me started on Amsterdam, okay? Amsterdam is a great city, but talking about distractions, right? So, here's the thing. We have a better product that has none of these issues. It's called Berlin, Startup Home as a Service. Berlin, we're too sunny? Not a problem. We're too pretty? Not a problem. We're too yummy? Not a problem. Berlin also a place where dressing up is not a problem. And we're certainly too attractive is not a problem. Also in Berlin, there are definitely no good jobs. Actually, our former mayor acknowledged that when he coined the phrase Berlin is poor but sexy. And poor but sexy has been the motto of the city ever since. Talking about day trips, well, we surrounded Berlin by this. We call it Brandenburg. It's like Nebraska without the personality, basically. So you will be doing no day trips there. And when it comes to drugs, you know, in Berlin, we don't do them. They're not good for you. It's illegal, so we don't do drugs. So basically what we give you is a real killer feature, and that's focus. In Berlin, you can focus on your startup and your work. Now, some of you might say, didn't I hear something that Berlin has some of the best nightclubs in the world, like the famous Berghain, which was supposed to be the best nightclub in the world for a couple of years? Isn't that going to distract me from my work? Well, the good thing is you're not getting in. This is their bouncer. His name is Sven, and for you, it will always be 9. You're not getting in. We have a beta version out right now, but I want to be honest with you. I'm a big fan of transparency. We do have some bugs, okay? For one, our front end looks a little bit messy. We have to work on that. Also, we have an airport situation that's sort of a thing. It was supposed to open in 2007. Unfortunately, there was planning difficulties, so they moved it to 2012. Then there was fire safety issues. Then they moved it to 2018. Now I think there's something like the toilet seat color is off. So now we're going to open it in 2020. Maybe. Let's see. Another bug we have is, and you might have heard of this, Germans are grumpy, right? Have you heard of this? Germans are grumpy, but what you maybe didn't know is that in Germany, Berliners are famous to be the grumpiest of them all, okay? Actually, the grumpiest of them all are Berlin bus drivers, so you better stay away from those people. So we do have these bugs, but we have our best people, including our CTO, working on fixing those bugs right now. What you also might say is, but isn't the product Berlin part of a bigger product package called Germany? And technically, that's correct. That's our mother company, right? But Berlin is not really Germany, okay? We do have to use their proprietary programming language in some parts, and this is very annoying because some of the words in that programming language are just a tiny bit long. You can ask a German person. It's an actual word, okay? It means something. But we do a good job of keeping the feature creep away, so when you use our product Berlin, you don't have to use any of the weird features that the product Germany has, like this stuff, or this stuff, or this stuff. None of that is going on in Berlin. Our business model is very simple. It's freemium. So if you sign up with an American passport, you get it for free for 3 months. But we do have in-city purchases. So if you're buying anything, beer, lattes, liquid LSD for you microdosers out there, we will take a commission on all of that, okay? And that's how we make our money. Do we have any traction? Yes, we do. We already have more than 3,000 tech startups in Berlin. And if you ask, are they any good? I tell you, they're fucking great. For example, IM is a picture platform for people that actually care about photography, where other similar platforms just give you idiots that do duck face selfies. We also have a startup that's called SoundCloud. It's a music platform where some of the best DJs in the world put their beats, where similar platforms just give you the beeps. And we have a platform that's called ridemypony.com. That's a ride-sharing platform where you can ride a pony home from work or the bar, where other similar platforms just give you boring cars. And yes, full disclosure, I am the founder and CEO of ridemypony.com. Also, user testimonials. That's always important, right? Real people that have used our product. And what are they saying? And we asked just random, normal persons, okay? There's Ronald here, who said they actually liked my speech there, so he was really happy. Then we asked David here, and he said they actually liked my music there, so he was very happy and a little surprised apparently. And then we have this guy who is really interested in that wall feature that we actually don't have anymore. But anyway, he likes it. We have a great core team, very experienced people, good looking too. But we're actually a company of 3.5 million, so we have a lot of power behind that. And we have an advisory board that's going to help us along the way. So for you Americans, if you're asking yourself, why should I go to Berlin? There's one more reason. Berlin loves you, okay? Because we didn't forget that you bailed us out and you got rid of the shitty CEO we had back then. And we didn't forget that you bailed us out again in 1948-49 when the Russians were blocking the city and you did the Berlin airlift to fly everything we needed into the city. So we love Americans, which means that Berlin is one of the few places where American tourists don't have to do this. And I know you're all doing it when you're traveling. So if you're ever looking for a place to go with your startup for hypothetical reasons or real reasons, I can recommend Berlin. No beaches, no good jobs, just focus. And your chance to be like this guy and take pride in saying the words, Ich bin ein Berliner. And final thought, I don't know if you're aware of this, but our current head of state has a PhD in physics, not Twitter. Thank you.